Back to Manny Pacquiao, if we can get this message to him, to
Yes,
Manny
Manny,
Pacquiao.
what are you doing, man? I would
It-
say this is the biggest fight of his life. He fought big players. He wins some, he lost some, but to really to be a true champion of life, a true boxer, you have to box with the shaitan. Manny, you know what you got to do. You have to box the shaitan, kick him out, and become a true champion of the people. And the most famous among them is Lapu Lapu. So Lapu Lapu is a Muslim hero. He's the first Muslim hero who fought Magellan army. I think, Manny, if you truly love your people, you want the best for them, right? And the best for them is Islam. So as also you, I know before the Spanish came and basically wipe out a big majority of this Muslim. Actually, when you say proudly you're Filipino, you are indirectly saying, I'm basically a slave of the one who colonized me, which was the King Philip at the time.
There's only one God, period. You cannot divide God into three. That's silly.
This is the Deen Show.
Assalamu alaikum, greetings of peace. Welcome back to the Deen Show. And I'm here with our brother Julian. And we were talking about some very interesting information about some of the time you spent in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought those gems of wisdom that you shared with us of some of the history of the Filipino people that they don't even know about, many of them. But when you talk to them about these gems, about their history being deeply embedded in Islam, this is a great piece of information, just that in and of itself, and other things you're going to share with us that many people don't know with us. So please enlighten us with some of these interesting facts about the Filipino people.
Yeah, so actually I lived 4 years in the Philippines. I did some reports there, and I became Muslim in the Philippines. So, of course, I'm very interested about their history, and I found out actually it was a Muslim country, such as Indonesia, Malaysia. There was a lot of sultanates, and before the Spanish came and basically wipe out a big majority of this Muslim. They even had a hero that actually, if you go in the central park of the Philippines, of Manila, in the capital, you will see a bunch of statues of Muslim heroes. And the most famous among them is Lapu Lapu. So Lapu Lapu is a Muslim hero. He's the first Muslim hero who fought Magellan army and to resist against the oppressor and the aggressors. And the tragedy is that they got rid of all the parents, and they kept the children and gave them Spanish name. That's why every Filipino has a Spanish name. Their name are Sanchez, Delgado, so that's what Arroyo. So all this happened in the history, and yes, the Philippines don't know that actually the name Philippines comes from the King Philip. And actually, when you say proudly you're Filipino, you are indirectly saying, I'm basically a slave of the one who colonized me, which was the King Philip at the time. So it's a good piece of information, and it's always good to know your history. And of course, the history got eradicated, for political purpose. But if you should be proud of your Muslim heritage and come back to it. That's why when a Filipino become Muslim, we say in Tagalog, balik Islam, because you're returning to the original faith of your forefathers, of your ancestors, which was Islam.
Now, in your experience in talking to, how much time did you spend? You're actually a French citizen, right?
Yes.
And how much time did you spend in the Philippines?
I spent 4 years.
4 years?
I was working there. I traveled all over the Philippines, from Manila to Cebu to Mindanao. And
when you bring these very important points of history up and these facts, what has been the reaction of many Filipinos?
It was very positive, actually. They were very grateful for this piece of information, and most of them, when I talk to them, they appreciate this, and some of them become Muslims. Because Filipinos are very sincere people. They sincerely worship God. The only thing is because they just followed what the forefathers did, and they just don't know the right path. But once you tell them, they really usually have no problem to accept the truth. But it's all about informing. You know, it's a population of 100 million people, so it takes time, and it's just happening step by step, and it just takes time for them to get it. But they are really good people, and they usually accept the truth very easily. They are not arrogant like other nations.
What about Manny Pacquiao? Manny Pacquiao is
Yeah.
one of the most famous Filipinos, right?
Yeah,
And-
I actually had a picture with him when he was a congressman, and I'm in a picture like this with him. You know, like I was about to box him as a joke, but after this day, I never really had the time to talk to him. I was not Muslim at the time when I met him, so of course, Manny Pacquiao is from Mindanao. He's a very dedicated Christian. And we hope and pray, if it's not the case already, maybe he did it already, but he has a huge potential to become Muslim, such as President Duterte, who has a great relationship with the Muslims, and so the potential is there. You know, Robin Padilla, one of the biggest star actors in the Philippines, became Muslim. You have Freddie Aguilar, is a folk singer who made a big hit with a song. Became Muslim, so a few leaders among the community have become Muslim already. You know, and it's just a matter of time actually that the truth will be even more apparent, I believe.
Is this true? I heard that the president of the Philippines, that he made a statement saying that he does not believe in the Trinity.
There's only one God, period. You cannot divide God into three. That's silly.
That he believes in God, and that he believes in Allah. Have you heard this?
I have to say, since I left the Philippines, I didn't really I've not heard that.
Yeah.
Could he have said it? Possibly, but as a background, as a journalist background, I won't take this
We
risk.
need
you know.
we need to
We need to investigate.
I think the brother was telling me that.
Yeah.
Jamal, you weren't there when he was telling
No,
me that?
I was not there.
Okay, so maybe we can verify this. This is the brother.
I don't know.
Jamal.
He could have said it privately or publicly. This I don't know, but definitely he's a sympathizer of the Muslims, and despite all the things that have been said about him on the Western news, I believe he's much better than his predecessors, because I was actually working during the time of his predecessors. And of course, when a president doesn't want to be a puppet of the West, you always get the backlash of it.
Yeah.
But as I said, I don't know. I don't know what is he really doing on the ground, because I don't live anymore in the Philippines
Yeah.
for the past 5 years. You know.
Yeah, back to Manny Pacquiao. If we can get this message to him, to
Yes,
Manny
Manny,
Pacquiao.
what are you doing, man?
It-
We're
it-
waiting for you.
I mean, how? Okay, this is.
Yeah.
I mean, this is profound, because before the colonization, they were majority Muslim. So they would link their history, their roots to Islam.
Yeah.
So now they got colonized. They got converted over to another religion, away from their that original way of life. Even going beyond that, if you go back to the first man, Adam, and then the prophets and all, they all submitted their will to the Creator of the heavens and earth. They all did Islam. They were ones who submitted to the will of God. They were Muslim. So what else would you say to Manny Pacquiao? Do you also speak Filipino?
Kante lang.
Kante
A
lang?
little bit.
So what would you say to someone like him, who he does? I mean, he's a strong Christian, and obviously many Christians are also coming to Islam because they see the contradiction there between belief in God and then worshiping Jesus. And Islam is directly just worshiping the Creator, the one God. They see many of the contradictions with the Trinity and the Bible and whatnot. Islam clears all that up. What would you tell him? What would you communicate to him?
All I can say is Manny Pacquiao, he loves his people. Manny Pacquiao truly loves the Filipino, and I think Manny, if you truly love your people, you want the best for them, right? And the best for them is Islam. So as also I know you also truly love God. So if you truly love God, find the true religion that leads to God. So we are all on this journey, and. I mean, he has the potential, and Manny has the potential to become a great Muslim, because he has so many good character, and I just hope that you will be guided by Allah. If it's not already the case, but we need people like you to join Islam, because you are the ambassador of your country, and we are waiting for you to join. this great religion, where the fastest growing religion in the world, and people like you truly love God and truly love the Filipinos, will be a very important part of this revival of Islam in the Philippines, inshallah.
It reminds me of great Christians of the past, like Najashi, when one of the companions of the last and final messenger sent to mankind, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, he stood in front of Najashi, Jafar. May Allah have mercy on him. He, after he explained Islam, this is the Christian ruler of that time. He said, now because the pagan Arabs had come and they were trying to take them back, and they escaped the persecution. This shows the justice of this Christian king. He was a great Christian king, who later is known that he accepted Islam. But at that moment, as being a Christian, he said, after hearing the message, he said, I will not sell you out for a mountain of gold.
Yeah.
So then you also have another Christian at that time of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Now remember, these were sincere people. They were looking to the pleasure of God. They weren't looking for popularity, for fame, for any of these things. So one thing is sincerity with your Creator within yourself. He also said, look, if I can be with you, if I was younger and still be around, I would be with you when your people are going to persecute you for what? That message of La ilaha illallah. There's nothing worthy of worship except the Creator of the heavens and the earth. Just like Moses, Jesus, and all of them were persecuted. So people like Manny Pacquiao, now it's like that test. My people love me, but what would the people also say? Are they worrying about, losing that popularity? Are they going to catch some heat? What's the status over there when someone does accept Islam?
I would say this is the biggest fight of his life. He fought big players. He wins some, he lost some. But to really, to be a true champion of life, a true boxer, you have to box with the shaitan. That's your main enemy. And otherwise, you're going to end up losing. So as a champion, Manny, you know what you got to do. You have to box the shaitan, kick him out, and become a true champion of the people, the true champion of a religion that is the only way to lead you to paradise. And then your legacy will forever be. Because, as a champion, in 30 years' time, nobody will remember who you are. It's just a fact. Who remember Muhammad Ali? Talk about our generation. Is going to lose. He's still there, but think about who was before Muhammad Ali. The best.
People don't remember.
Do you remember who was before? There was a great boxer. Actually, he was French,
but he's gone.
I forgot his name. You see? So in 30 years' time, Muhammad Ali, people will forget. And in maybe 60 years' time, who will remember Manny Pacquiao in the Philippines? But if you become Muslim, I can guarantee you, your name will be remembered for centuries.
Yeah, and that's interesting. You remember Muhammad Ali, but Allah, the Creator, elevated him because of that, because he accepted Islam. And
it's true. There's a difference. Thanks for correcting me. Because he became Muslim, but because he became Muslim, his legacy will go on.
It's amazing. That legacy of him, you see that it just continued to rise because he was a humanitarian. He did things that Islam motivated him to do.
It's true.
Of helping to change mankind. This is
actually Muhammad Ali was a big part of when I was, because I love sport, and he has very big speech about we have such a short amount of time to live and how to be really productive. And so definitely, thanks for correcting me, because Muhammad Ali doesn't fall into this category. He became Muslim already, but many champions are getting forgotten. Think about Michael Jordan. Now LeBron James and Kobe Bryant is taking over. He's trying to stay in the game, but Michael, you lost it. People are coming at you now to take the leadership of this NBA. And you too, Michael, if you're watching this, Karim Abdul-Jabbar is a bigger scorer than you, and he's already a Muslim.
Wow.
So you want to be a true champ. Karim Abdul-Jabbar, his legacy is going to go on and on. But Michael, we're waiting for you as well. You're from Chicago, like my brother here. We're coming at you.
I like you gave that beautiful example of people will forget. And when people do small things like that, just look at Habib. He mentions God. He's trying to identify as a Muslim, and God Almighty elevates you now, and you're able to stand out because you are preaching the truth. Thank you so much. And you mentioned one more thing, and it's in the Qur'an. وَمَن يَبْتَغِ غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَن يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. This is like, I'm not an Arab. He's not an Arab, but we got the living language of a book that's preserved, tamper-free, tamper-proof. It invites you to challenge it, put it to the test. If it was from other than the Creator of the heavens and earth, you would find contradictions, discrepancies in it. And what I just recited was the original Arabic He's learning it, I'm learning it. Every Muslim who's a Muslim is helping to preserve this book. And in it says that the creator of the heavens and the earth, Allah, he says that there's no other way of life that will be accepted except submission to his will. You understand that? And that's equal in one word, Islam. And everything else, anyone else following anything else, in the hereafter, they'll be among the losers. So let's be among the winners.
The
And
champions.
submit, the champions, submit our will to the creator of the heavens and the earth, avoid the hellfire, get to Jannah, paradise, and that's by worshiping only one God, the creator of the heavens and earth. Make sense?
Totally.
Simple. He did it, I did it, you can do it, let's do it.
I'm signing for this.
Peace be with you. Keep tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.